Yeah, but speaking of banks, we in fact have Bank of America, which has put out a report on Indian banks with, in fact, their top picks. Hersh is now standing by to give us that complete report. Hersh.
Their topics also include Axis Bank, Agam. So at least the play on Axis Bank today morning seems to be quite solid in terms of brokerage calls. So you have Axis Bank as well as ICICI Bank as their top defensive picks within the sector. On what basis are they playing this note out? First is they've had calls with various managements. They've also done some channel checks of their own. Three factors that they largely seem to be highlighting. First off, they seem to be talking about how slower growth will likely start kicking through going forward. So expect slower growth. Second is also expect some asset quality stress, which has already started percolating the system. You're seeing microfinance in particular seeing a bit of stress, and that is something which BoFA seems to be highlighting, and therefore they seem to be preferring some of the larger banks, Axis and ICICI. Private capex, they believe will kick through, but will take some time. Also, they expect a shallow rate cut cycle, which means that margins will take a hit, but not as much. So they are expecting a bit of margin pressure. They are definitely not expecting margins to aid profitability. That's what they are suggesting. So margins will come off a wee bit, maybe lower than what many were expecting because of the shallower rate cut cycle, but it will also impact profitability. That's what they are in substance saying. Stay away from. They believe they have an underperform on AU Small Finance Bank, just given the fact that AU Small has exposure to a lot of the segments under stress, and IDFC First. Those are the two underperforms by BoFA.
Hersh, just a moment. Now, I was reading the HSBC equity strategy note on Axis, and they say that Axis has taken the necessary steps to protect profitability, asset quality is improved, loan slippage is moderated, etc., etc. What is BoFA's principal point around Axis? Because there seems to be a consensus from two large MNC brokerages around Axis Bank.
Well, Neeraj, interestingly, what BoFA is trying to make in terms of a case is, one, relative valuations seem to be attractive and in favor of Axis. The second piece that they are really trying to drive home is that stick to the large private sector banks. The smaller ones will see a deeper impact with regard to where asset quality is concerned, given the fact that microfinance is one of the sectors where the most amount of stress is currently being witnessed. And therefore, what I think the hypothesis that BoFA is trying to put out here is they're trying to stick to the larger names. The smaller names, something like an AU, something like an IDFC First, stay away from, given that they have exposure to these segments and they are also relatively smaller, and therefore the impact will be more.